like I look a little funny. Hi guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Brooke. It's nice to have you guys back at my little book nook that I have here on YouTube. If you haven't been to my channel before, hi, welcome. I'm glad that you're here. If you want to subscribe, like the video, or you haven't even watched it yet, so I mean, how are you gonna do that? This is the intro, not the outro. So today I wanted to do my February wrap-up and a March TBR. I wanted to do them in like one video because I only read 6 books in February. Not only like it's a bad thing or something. 6 books is actually a lot. That's more than 1 book a week, and a lot of the books I read were pretty thick, so you know, they took up a pretty good chunk of my time that I had to read. So you know, 6 books is still good. Even 1 book is good. One of my favorite YouTubers, Destiny, always says, even if you read like 1 book a year and you loved that book, that is good. Like, you read. That's what's important, is if you liked it. Because if you're just constantly reading a bunch of books you don't like, reading's not gonna be really fun anymore, you know? Like, it's a hobby, and if you're forcing yourself to read more books and they're books that you don't like, then it's not gonna be fun and you're gonna hate it, and that would suck. So stay reading books that you love, even if it's just 1 book a month, 1 book a year, 1 book a week, 1 book a day. You do you, boo. You do you. Today we're gonna be doing my February wrap-up and my March TBR. And yeah, I can't wait to get I can't wait to show you guys what I read in February and what I want to read in March. It's gonna be exciting, so let's get into it. Coffee. More coffee. Still need more coffee. Okay. I'm gonna go in order from book I read first to the book I read last. So to start off, I kind of got I'm done. I kind of got a late start into my reading this year. I read this book actually on January 31st. I'm just gonna include it in this video because we have The Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose. For my first read of the year, I was so happy that I chose this book because it was actually super good. Super good. Don't judge how many thriller books I read in February, by the way. Psychological thrillers, mysteries, those are some of my favorite books to read sometimes, so I did read quite a few thrillers in February, so don't judge me. I literally only read 1 romance book. Okay, anyways, in this book we have our main character Sarah and her husband Adam, and pretty much what happens with Sarah and Adam in this book is Sarah is a defense attorney. She's constantly working, and then her husband Adam, he is a struggling writer. I think he maybe had like 1 alright book, but it didn't sell very well, so Sarah pretty much ends up buying him pretty much like a vacation home out in the woods, like a little cabin that he can go and write, so he can, you know, not be cooped up in 1 little room, and he just can stare at these beautiful woods and get inspiration and write freely in this little cabin that his wife, the defense attorney, bought him with her money. He might be a little jealous about that. So he ends up having an affair with a girl named Kelly Summers. One day, Adam comes home late at night. The next morning, Kelly Summers is found dead in the cabin. Since Sarah, his wife, is a defense attorney, she learns about this and decides to be Adam's attorney. And yeah, the plot pretty much just takes off from there. It is really engaging and fast-paced the whole time. Well, that's a lie. I did guess who it was before I even opened this book. I did second guess myself throughout it, but by the end of the book, I for sure knew who it was going to be. And then when it was revealed, I was wrong a little bit. I'm not going to lie, because there's another twist that I kind of guessed it, but I second guessed myself on that one and totally was like, no, that's not going to happen. This one I rated a 4.5 stars. The only reason I didn't rate it a 5-star, which I was going to, but I'm kind of glad I didn't, because thinking back on it, it isn't a 5-star. I was anticipating the trial the whole book, and then you get to it, and it's literally like 2 sentences, and it's over. Since I was anticipating it the whole time, it just brought it down a notch for me. She is literally his defense attorney, and I didn't get to see like what she said. That made me mad. So yeah, 4.5 stars for The Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose. Definitely go pick up this book if you like thrillers and mysteries. It's a good one. Definitely would recommend it. Next book. Right, so next we have The Last Flight by Julie Clark. This one I gave a 3 stars. It is another thriller book. This one is about 2 women, so you get 2 POVs in this book. One of them, who's the first one? Claire and I can't remember. Eva. The first woman is Claire. She is wife to a rich man named, I believe his name was Rory. He's just an abusive husband. He's very abusive, and she's looking for a way out pretty much. And then we have our second character, Ava. I called her Ava. I heard some people saying Eva, but I don't know. Every person that I know that's name spelled like that is Ava. So I'm gonna go with Ava. We have Ava, and she's kind of like a question mark. She's got a different kind of lifestyle for sure. She's kind of, she sells like, she sells uppers to college kids pretty much. She pretty much is just looking for a way out of that lifestyle too, because something happens with her and she needs to get out. So Claire and Eva both wind up at the airport on the same day, meet each other by chance, and end up switching plane tickets. And the book kind of goes on from there. The twist in this book, what was the twist in this book? Low-key, this book was a little bit forgettable. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, I just remembered the twist. This book was forgettable. I haven't thought about it since I finished reading it. And since this book didn't settle my thriller craving, I had to pick up another thriller. So I picked up... Yikes, that didn't play out how I wanted it to. I picked up The Couple Next Door by Sherry Lapina. This one ended my thriller kick. This was awful. I'm so sorry. If you like this book, I'm so sorry. But I don't think I like the author's writing style. I think that really was it for me. At first, I gave it a 2.5, but now that I'm thinking about it, it's a 2. It's a 2. Sorry. I hate giving books bad ratings. I even rated at that point, but I guess you have to have like corrective criticism. Is that the word? Anyways. Oh god, I don't know how long it's gonna be until I can pick up another dang thriller after reading this. Oh lord. So this book definitely put me in a thriller slump. And let's go over why I rated this 2 stars, what it's about. So pretty much this book is about a couple, the couple next door, and their names are Anne the wife and Marco the husband. They have a little baby girl named Cora. Pretty much Anne, Marco, and not Cora, because Anne and Marco leave Cora at their house. Anne and Marco go to a dinner party and leave their baby alone in her crib. They do bring a monitor with them, a voice monitor, so they can hear her cry, but still, I don't think I would leave my child. They end up coming back from the house. Something ends up happening. The cops get called. Immediately, Anne and Marco are the top suspect. And yeah, the plot kind of just carries on from there. This book was fast-paced, but it was literally so repetitive. And the writing style, it was not my thing. It did not keep me engaged at all. I literally would get so bored. I'd read like 5 pages and want to be done reading this already. I don't know why I didn't DNF it, to be honest. I just should have DNF'd it no matter how far I was into it, because it just would have saved me time in my life that I could have used for better things. DNF books if you don't like them. Don't make yourself be tortured and finish reading it. Just DNF it and go find a better book to read or something else to do with your time. Something wise. I don't know if I'd recommend this book. I think some people might, but I would not. So, next book. Next we have ACOTAR, A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, as I'm sure most of you already know. This book was my first fantasy book I've ever read, except for like Harry Potter, but I'm not gonna count that. This is my first fantasy book. I literally loved it so much. It made me fall in love with the fantasy genre, and I'm so happy that I picked this book up and finally gave it a chance, because if I would have waited any longer, I definitely would have kicked myself in the butt, because it is so good. I rated this book at 3.8 stars, and by how much I'm saying that I loved it, you guys are probably like, why did you give it a 3.8 stars? Like, 3.8 is still good in my book. 3.8 is almost a 4. 4s in my book are great books that I wouldn't necessarily want to reread again. That's the only thing for me that separates a 4 from a 5. I already read the 300, 400 pages or whatever. If it was a great book, awesome. I don't think I'm gonna pick it up again. If it's a 5-star though, I could read that book twice, 3, maybe multiple times throughout my life, you know? So that's the only difference between like a 4 and a 5 for me. So the fact that this book was almost a 4 and it was my first fantasy, dude, this book was awesome. Freaking awesome. I loved it so much. So as I'm sure most people already know what the plot and stuff of this book is, but I'm gonna explain it for the ones who don't, because there's still some people that haven't read this book. There's a lot more people that have not read this book than I thought. We have our main character, Feyre, and she pretty much lives in the mortal world of this fantasy world. There's the fairylands, the mortal world, and the wall between them, the wall that separates those two lands. Feyre lives in the mortal world right next to the wall. And one day she's out hunting and she ends up killing this wolf, which she thinks looks like a fairy, but when she ends up killing it, she gets a closer look and she's like, nah, that's just a regular wolf, pretty big, kind of weird. A day or two later, a big beast fairy comes breaking into Feyre's little house and freaks her family out, pretty much tells Feyre she's a murderer and the wolf that she killed was a fairy. And there is a treaty and he has to take her away now to the fairylands. So this book is pretty much just us following Feyre as she enters her new life in the fairy realm. This is the perfect book to get you into fantasy for my romance girls or my romance pals. This is the book to get you into fantasy because it has so much romance in it. I don't know if the romance is the main plot and the fantasy is the subplot or the other way around, but that's how prominent the romance is in this book. So if you don't think you like fantasy but you love reading romance, give this one a try. It might blow your socks off. I'm just saying. I'm just literally so glad that I read this book finally and I'm a part of like the little hype. I can like watch all the spoiler videos finally and I get the hype. I definitely get the hype. I recommend this book. 3.8 stars out of 5, and that's still a good rating. Next book. Alright, so next, of course, after that, I had to pick up Akhomov, A Court of Mist and Fury. I don't know why I said it like that, Akhomov. It's by the same person, obviously. It's in the series. But I rated this one a 4. Oh my god. Reese. Need I say more? Need I say more? End of video. Psych, just kidding. But no. But seriously, Reese, oh my god, I love Reese. This is the second book in the ACOTAR series, A Court of Mist and Fury. This one just continues to follow Feyre on her new life in the fairy realms. We pretty much get like a bunch of new characters in this one. We just like get more insight on the world. pretty much we pick up in this one where we left off on the last one, and we see Feyre is about to go through with something pretty big in her life, and she's having some second thoughts about it, and she's thinking in her head like, I need to get out of here, and then poof, someone pops up and comes and swoops her away and takes her away from all her doubt and worry and brings her somewhere safe. At first, she doesn't trust this person and she's very standoffish, but after a couple of times of going there, she really warms up to them and a relationship forms. And oh my gosh, that relationship is just... We also get to see Feyre become even more of a badass in this book. Like, how can this girl even be more of a badass? I don't know. Ask Sarah J. Maas, because she's the one who wrote it. But this girl literally is such a badass, like, strong female lead. I recommend this book so much to you guys. Chef's kiss. I can't wait to read ACOWAR. I can't wait to continue the series. Also, I just wanted to say, please don't be mad that I didn't give this one 5 stars. Next book and last book, I read Things, I almost said Things We Never Got Over. Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. I gave this one a 3.8, so almost a 4, but not totally. I didn't think this one was as good as Things We Never Got Over. And I'm sorry if you really liked this book. If you really, like, love Nash and Lena that much, I am so sorry. But Naomi, Knox, and Waylay they hit so different. They're my favorite book family of all time. This one just didn't hit as much. I felt like this book, low-key, Knox and Lena's relationship was so similar to Knox, or did I say Knox and Lena? I meant Nash and Lena's relationship was so similar to Knox and Naomi's relationship. This book was literally Knox and Naomi, subtract Waylay, add a dog, and that's what this book is. So many of the things that Knox and Naomi face in their relationship, Nash and Lena also face, and it just gave me like the same vibes, and I was expecting something kind of different, and that is not what I got out of this. So that's why I ended up just giving a 3.8. I really love the plot of the book. It kept me engaged. I love Lucy Score's writing style, so I didn't have any problem picking it up and like keep on reading it. It was just like too similar to Things We Never Got Over for me. Not even as like good either. Like, it was similar but not even as good. So 3.8. I still really liked it though, like I said. Am I being too harsh with my ratings? Oh well, that's how I feel, so deal with it. With all the love in my heart, deal with it. I almost forgot to mention, I cannot wait for Lucy and Sloane's book. I think that one is gonna be a 5-star. Their relationship, dude, even just like reading their relationship in Things We Never Got Over and Things We Hide from the Light, I get so giddy. I get so giddy for them, so I cannot wait for that book. Let's move on to my March TBR. So the angle changed. I had to stop filming yesterday. I had to go to work. So we're just gonna continue today. First up on the March TBR, obviously I want to continue the ACOTAR series. We have ACOWAR next, and ACOFOS. A Court of Wings and Ruin is the 3rd book in the series. And this one is about like politics, and the war is gonna happen in this one. War. I honestly think this one is gonna be like a 5-star for me, because I just love when a book destroys me. Like, honestly, a book's not 5 stars if it didn't make me cry at least 5 times and break my heart. Someone commented on like one of my Goodreads reviews, I believe it was of ACOMOF, when I reviewed ACOMOF, and they were like, ACOWAR is one of my personal faves, so I hope you like it. And I'm like, ugh, me too, because I just want this to be a 5-star so bad. And then we have ACOFOS, which is just like a little novella, and I heard people don't really like this one because it's in like 3rd person for some reason, and it just follows a bunch of different characters' perspectives, and it's kind of confusing, and a lot of people said it wasn't really necessary. So I'm a little concerned that I'm not gonna like this one that much, and I might be bored, but it's just so pretty. Look at it. So yeah, that's why I'm excited to read this one, because the pretty cover. Next. After that, we have A Little Life. I want to go ahead and read this one. I have literally had this on my bookshelf for like 6 months probably, so it's time. It's time that I know why this book destroys everyone. Ooh, the floppiness of it. Jesus Christ. This one is about, I believe, like 4 college students that are, I'm pretty sure like they're broke and like lost in life pretty much, and I heard this book's really traumatizing, so I'm sure they've been through a hell of a lot of shit, and pretty much the only thing that keeps them going is their friendship and their ambitions. They end up moving to New York, and I believe the story kind of follows them through that. I'm mainly just excited to read this one because everyone is always saying it like breaks their heart, and like I just said, I love a book that's gonna destroy me. Hopefully I get to it this month because my TBR is a little ambitious. What is this smoke outside my window? Is there like a fire downstairs? Next we have The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I'm gonna be showing a lot of like really popular book talk books or whatever you want to call them in this video because I haven't read them yet and I'm trying to catch up with everyone, so this is what we got next. This one follows, obviously, Evelyn Hugo. She wants her like life story pretty much written and published for everyone to read about, and she wants one specific journalist to do it, and that journalist, her name is Monique Grant. Monique doesn't know who Evelyn is. She's confused on like why Evelyn even wants her to write this. So she's just like, why does Evelyn want me out of all people to write this expose? She just writes like little fluff pieces and stuff like that. She has like no relations to Evelyn that she knows of, so the whole book we're kind of trying to find out why did Evelyn choose Monique out of all people to write this for her. And then also we're obviously gonna get the story of Evelyn's life and her 7 husbands along with that. So yeah, I'm excited to read this. One of my favorite podcasters that I watch, Stephanie Sue, she was just raving about how much she loved it, so I was like, no, I'm gonna read this. She convinced me to like pick it up this month. So yeah, next we have Shatter Me. I want to start this series because like, who doesn't? I think this one is the next one I've probably heard the most about other than ACOTAR. This one I'm going into knowing like way less about though. This girl, what's her name? I don't even know her name. Juliet. This girl named Juliet, she has powers, I think. I'm pretty sure she's like the only one, and they don't know why she has these powers. So she's like locked up in a cell. I've heard people say like the first half of this book or something is so boring and depressing because she's locked up in a cell the whole time. She just like meets someone from the past and someone who loves her and reunites with them and ends up like fighting for herself, I believe, for like the first time in her life. I always thought these covers were like just like super duper cool. Super excited to start this series and see what all the hype is about. I've heard some people hate it and some people love it. You already know. Your girl is most excited. Say it with me, ladies. Aaron Warner. Aaron Warner. We all know it. All right. I literally picked this up only because I heard there was a show coming out for it. Obviously, I want to watch the show. Everyone hypes up this book so much. Honestly, I didn't know much about this book before I saw Destiny Sidwell. She posted a vlog, and so I was like, oh dang, there's a show coming out for it. Let me go pick it up. I'm not gonna watch the show without reading the book if the book is like so good, because the show probably won't compare. I heard this book is written in like an interview type format. I honestly think I'm gonna love that writing. It's just like short and to the point, and I love that kind of stuff. I think I'm gonna enjoy this book even though I didn't want to pick it up. It was the cover. Guys, I am someone who judges books by their covers sometimes. Even if a bunch of people are rating them like 5 stars, I'm still gonna low-key judge it by the cover. Next. Oh my god, I am so excited for this book. I think this book has been sitting on my shelf for probably almost a year now, but it is not a very popular one. I don't see anyone ever talking about this book. The Art of Racing in the Rain. Look at this cute little doggy, so cute. Oh my god, I just love this cover. It is just, any dogs on covers has my heart, but This is just adorable, and I believe it's just a book about a dog and his owner, but it's told in the dog's point of view, and I just thought that was super interesting to kind of just see how the dog is gonna think of things. They go through like a bunch of hardships in life together. I hope the dog doesn't die. Please don't write the dog dying, because I'm gonna cry my eyes out. Marley and Me, oh my god. That movie is so freaking sad, it gets me every time. Dude, I just cannot wait to read this book. Just like all my other books, I haven't like read any books like this told from like a dog's perspective. It's just so unique. I'm just like so excited to have like a different perspective on life too. That's what these kinds of books do for me, bro. I feel like people are gonna be like, you haven't read this book yet, with like a lot of the other books that I have on here, but get over it. Archer's voiced by Mia Sheridan. This one's a romance, and I'm pretty sure, along with a few of the other books I mentioned, everyone knows what this is about other than me. The only thing I know about this one is literally that's all I know, and it's a romance, and it's very sad and breaks a lot of people's hearts, so I'm probably gonna love it. You know when a book gives you like that broken heart feeling, you get so like emotionally attached to them. They're so good. They're so good. And for my next book on my TBR, I have City of Bones. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I already actually started this book a little bit. I'm like 60 pages in. I started reading this one because my grandma really loves this series, and when I told her I was getting into fantasy and stuff like that, she was like, oh my god, finally. Because she has been reading these books for like years, and she's been trying to get me to read these books for years. But I never have liked fantasy. As soon as I told her I was reading a fantasy book and liking it, she was like throwing these books in my face. Hold on. This girl gave me well, she didn't give them to me, she's letting me borrow them, but she let me borrow her whole freaking set. She said, oh, you like fantasy, here you go. I'm not gonna get through all of these this month, obviously, so I'm gonna work on City of Bones first. Oh, okay, going down, we're going down, give me a second. Okay. She also gave me the Clockwork series to go along with those. These will also be on a future monthly TBR at some point. Thanks, Nana, love you. This book just follows a girl named Clary, and she doesn't know that she is a shadow hunter. Like, her mom was a shadow hunter or something like that, and she was born one, and her mom never like told her. Her mom's being kind of sketchy. She wants to move away for the summer, and Clary's like, no, like this is some BS, and pretty much like goes out to the club with her friend one night. Some crazy stuff happened. The next day she ends up getting taken to like this thing called the Institute, and from there the story takes off. She finds out she's a shadow hunter, and we go on from there. Cassandra Clare, she is so funny. Even these first 60 pages have been super entertaining, so I'm super excited to read the rest of this book and the rest of the series. Thanks again, Nana. Alright, so last book on my TBR this month is Book Lovers, and I have this guy on here because I'm actually going to be reading it with a little book club. We decided to read Book Lovers this month, and I'm super excited. I've never read an Emily Henry book, and everyone loves her writing style so much. I've heard about Beach Read and this book a lot. I'm super excited to finally be reading my first Emily Henry book, and especially with a little group of people that also love reading. This is about Nora and Charlie. I believe Nora and her sister end up taking like a little trip to get away, but Nora keeps running into Charlie. Her and Charlie actually have like an interaction in the prologue. I believe it's like 2 years later or something when they go on the trip and they keep running into each other. Their initial meetup in the prologue did not go very good. I'm just super excited to be reading my first Emily Henry book. Yay! That is the last book on my TBR for March. So it's a big TBR for me with my busy life. So we'll see if I get through even half of those books. Everyone, pray to the TBR gods for me. I hope you guys enjoyed my video today. Let me know what you guys read in February and what you are most anticipating for March. I would love to hear what you guys have on your TBR for March, and then when I come back for my March wrap-up, I want to see how much you guys read too. Did you get through your TBRs? I can't wait to see, and I can't wait to see what I get through this month. Like, subscribe, click the bell for notifications if you guys like my videos enough and you want to see more. I would love that. Have a great day. I love you guys. Stay safe. Mwah. Okay, that was cringy. Bye, love you.